Hi, everybody. This is Ed Friedman. I chair Friends of Merrymeeting Bay. For those of you that don't know me, I'm going to run through a few slides of who we are, what we do, and then introduce the program, and we'll go from there. So, Friends of Merrymeeting Bay, a very unique organization. We do research, we do advocacy, land conservation, and education, and we are very unique in that respect, in that we take a holistic look at the environment here in this very special place we call home. You can see some of the research stuff that we've done over the years here. This is a little bit dated slide. Been doing a lot of work with PFAS lately, the forever chemicals, working with the Brunswick Sewer District, the first ever watershed survey of PFAS in the state 2 years ago. And yeah, all this stuff is ongoing. Very firm advocates. We let our research inform our advocacy, a lot of which is around fish passage issues. And you can see some grisly photos here of fish that didn't make it through hydroelectric turbines in good shape. And probably number one on our agenda right now in that area is the relicensing of the Brunswick Topsom Dam there, the first dam on the Androscoggin River, which has horrible fish passage. And as an example, we've been counting American shad below the dam for a few years, and counting even on a single tide with an underwater sonar camera, like 10 to 16,000 fish. And typically that fishway is passing anywhere from maybe 13 to 90 fish. 13 to 20 is more the norm out of 10 to 16,000. So not very effective, and not very effective for river herring, alewives, and blueback herring as well. What you're going to see tonight is one of the pieces of our education program, but more commonly we do these twice a year Bay Days, where we get kids outside, away from their computers, getting dirty and learning good stuff on the bay. And we also have a long history of going into classrooms, often with some taxidermy critters or things like that to liven things up. And we protect at this point well over 1,500 acres, largely valuable wetland, valuable wildlife habitat around the bay. If you like tonight's program, as I said, Martin McDonough, and I thank you, Martin, is our web coordinator. We'll be posting this on our website. And if you go to the homepage, which is friendsofmerrymeetingbay.org or FOMB.org, and scroll down the right side to the education section, you'll see a link in here for speaker series videos, and that's what you can direct folks to. And this is our series for the season. Our next one here, getting to know Rachel Carson, fabulous conservationist and well-known, and Barbara Vickery, a member of ours from Richmond, will be talking about Rachel Carson, which should be great. So tonight's program is the most current in a series of programs we have done with Piti Theatre out of Massachusetts. And it's a living history project, and it's sort of a combination of theater meets documentary meets film. And it really came about with COVID, with PT morphing in this regard anyway, from a typical live theater acting programs that they do, to how do we do this and let people see it when we're all not in the same room. And so getting into filming this kind of a program, and the program, which looks at historical and cultural social roots of contemporary environmental issues here in Merrymeeting Bay and around Maine, through the local history lens, is one of essentially a series that PT has done called Our Town, where the theater and the town and the school focus on unique aspects of a particular town, and produce, usually during the course of a 1 or 2 week residency with the Piti Theatre folks, a film with songs and script and research and all this sort of stuff that becomes a resource for the community and for historical societies and libraries and so forth. So normally I would introduce our speaker, but the speaker is the film tonight. After the film, which is about 28 minutes, we're going to have a little discussion, and Jonathan Marin, who's director of the Piti Theatre, will be joining us Jay Robbins is here to speak as well. And what we really want to do is hear from some of the students who I hope will be on the program here about how this program went for them. And hopefully Ms. Burke and Mr. Livy are here, the fourth grade teachers from Marcia Buker as well. But I'd encourage everyone, if you like this, to take a look at Piti Theater's website and just look it up on the internet. Piti Theater, spelled Theatre Company, and look for, or just Google Dexter and the Dinosaurs, which was, I think, the first program they did like this. And it's how I got interested in saying we should be able to do something like this for Merrymeeting Bay. And that tells the story of, Dexter tells the story of a gentleman who in the 1800s down in Massachusetts in Greenfield, I think, was digging around in his backyard. He was, I believe, a doctor, and he was also had an interest in geology. And he found this rock with these really cool prints on it, and turned out they were dinosaur prints. And John and his gang at PT have done a great job telling that story. And now Greenfield has a Dino Fest every year, so it's a big deal. So we've attempted to do the same thing with Richmond this year, early 2024, and the kids decided they wanted to focus on ice harvesting, dairy farming, shipbuilding, and spinning mills. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Martin is going to kick off the film, which we're going to be playing directly from a Vimeo link because it seemed to work better than playing off our computers. So Martin, have at it, and thank you.
When you think of the history of your town, you might first ask when it was founded. For example, Richmond, Maine was incorporated in the state of Maine in 1823. But of course, in the forests along the Kennebec River and on what is now called Swan Island, indigenous peoples hunted, fished, and raised their families for thousands of years before the Europeans arrived, and that means thousands of years before 1823. The Kennebec tribes, generally considered an Abenaki people, were split into several bands, with those in the Richmond and Merrymeeting Bay area usually associated with the Sagadocs. Our story today starts 200 years after 1823, in a year you might remember, 2023. It was the end of the school day, and Marcia Buker Elementary's Junior Archaeologist Club was getting ready to meet in the outdoor classroom.
What do you think we can find about this hammer? Oh, I think it's in the north. Look at this, guys! Whoa, that's so cool! That's writing on it. Look, Clara and Raven are coming with a big box! Whoa!
Look what Cassandra found.
It was over! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I moved into my house on Main Street, and I was in the attic, and I found this.
Wow. I wonder what's inside it. Let's try to open it.
Yeah, it's locked. We're gonna need a locksmith.
Does anyone know how to pick a lock?
Oh, I know how to pick a lock. I've done this. I've seen my mom do this a million times when she locks her keys in the car.
Great.
Don't forget about the other side.
All right, step back. Let's see what's inside. Wait a minute. Time capsule. Do not open until 2023. What? We're in the right year. Richmond Bicentennial.
That's this year. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's do it.
Yeah. Whoa! That's a bell, I think, and that's a drill.
Why is their chest inside of a chest?
What are they? I think that's a drill. This stuff looks cool, but what are the real stories behind it?
Excellent question. There's only one place to find out.
Where?
Why, the Richmond Historical Society, of course. Jay, Terry, and Paul have literally spent years of their lives researching local history, we've got to bring this down there and find out what are the real human stories behind these objects. Okay. Let's go. Who wants to help me carry it?
Me!
All right, why don't you go over there?
Great Scott, you found our missing time capsule. We've been looking everywhere for it. There's very important history in here. Probably more than dates and names and places.
Well, then how come Mr. Sanderson keeps giving us quizzes and stuff about that?
Well, easy, Clara. You know we also have to get ready for Noea.
Well, history is about using your imagination and telling stories. I bet if we open this up, we'll find some things that help us use our imagination and tell stories about our history. Let's see what's in here.
Wow!
Look at that. That's T.J. Southard, the biggest shipbuilder in town, and his wife.
Huh. Let's imagine what their lives were like. In 1819, at the age of 11, T.J. Southard walked barefoot on the dirt cart paths to Richmond from Booth Bay Harbor.
Ha! Richmond, I'm finally here.
He managed to convince Captain Solomon Blanchard to let him join his crew on the high seas.
Well, you're not very tall. But sir, I'm only 11. And you're young too. Yeah, but I'm quite shocked at my age. Very well, then we'll leave in the morning. Yes!
But his excitement didn't last very long. He decided that building ships was more his speed than sailing on them.
Sorry. I hate this. I can't do it. Here, guys, snap it right here in the middle. Let's move it.
T.J. Southard launched his first vessel in 1840, the 182-ton brig China. He went on to become one of the largest ship owners in Maine, launching 57 more vessels, including the Mary Southard.
Wow, guys, nice job. Thanks, TJ. I christened the Mary Southern. Woo! Let's launch this thing. Go ahead, do it. A little help? I'll steer. Let me hold the sail. I got it on.
When he was not building ships, TJ also found time to be the Richmond postmaster, member of the Maine Senate and House of Representatives, sheriff of Saginaw County, director of the Portland and Kennebec Railroad Company, director of the International Telegraph Company, director of the State and First National Banks, president of the Richmond Savings Bank, president of the Saginaw Agricultural and Horticultural Society, president of the Knickerbocker Steam Towage Company, president of the Richmond Manufacturing Association, president of the Southern Manufacturing Company, run a West Indies goods store, manage a drugstore, and operate a planing mill and a grist mill.
What's a grist mill? What's a grist mill? It's where they mainly grind nuts and grains. Oh, so you could say TJ was a type A personality?
You could say that.
I'll say, what about the value of leisure and family? He, of course, has a family. And he liked bread. Not necessarily. He could have known someone who likes bread. Oh, Richmond. You could say Richmond was mostly about shipbuilding.
Well, actually, there are a couple of other big businesses here in the late 1800s. We had shoes and we had ice.
Shoes and ice?
You know that big brick building down by the waterfront park and the gazebo? Well, there used to be a wooden building there where they made shoes. It burned down. So this new building was built in its place in 1881. Guess who that was?
T.J. Southern!
You're right. And in the mill, it was a bag mill. They wove bags of all sizes, but the most common were the ones about 50 pounds that they would put grain in and ship it.
Huh.
You know, cotton bags are getting popular again now.
Before plastic bags, people used to use cotton bags for shopping. Speaking of cloth bags, look at this.
Wow.
I wonder what life was like for people who worked in mills powered by steam.
I wonder how much people worked in there.
I wonder what them lives were like.
Come check the pressure, come check the steam. 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 Come check the pressure, come check
The water turns the wheel. The water turns the wheel. The water turns the wheel. Round and round. The wheel turns the rod. The wheel turns the rod. The wheel turns the rod. Round and round. The spinner makes the cotton into thread. White, blue, or red. The spinner makes the cotton into thread. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. The spooler combines the bobbins. The spooler combines the bobbins. The spooler combines the bobbins into even bigger spools. The warper threads the looms. The warper threads the looms. The warper threads the looms. Look how fast she zooms. The weaver weaves the fabric. The weaver weaves the fabric. Sometimes it seems like magic. The weaver weaves the fabric. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. When the bobbin is empty, take it off quick as you can. When the bobbin is empty, take it off, thread it again. When the bobbin is empty, take it off quick as you can. When the bobbin is empty, take it off, thread it again. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we hear this song. Mill days are long. Even when we sleep, we
Enough daydreaming. Let's take out the next object.
What are those?
Those are ice tongs. They're used for moving ice out of the river and up the long conveyor belt into the ice house, and they position it just so, and then they take it back out of the ice house when the weather's warmer, and they send it to far-off lands like New York.
And India, but who's counting?
Not me.
How would they get to India without the ice melting?
Now, that's a very good question.
Let's go. Giddy up.
Come on, guys, let's go. We gotta get this job done before the ice melts.
I wonder what's for lunch. Same. I should have brought gloves. It sure is cold out here. Yeah, it is.
After the ice was scored, they knew where to cut it. Then chunks were floated down channels of water onto conveyor belts.
Go on vacation after this. I'm probably gonna go to Florida. I'm going to Massachusetts.
The belts brought the ice into ice houses, which were packed with sawdust for insulation.
I don't know. Celebrate that I got home. It's such a warm day today because it's ice. Yeah, and it's really warm. Where are you guys off to after you leave? Family.
I think I'm gonna take the train down.
Oh, the new one? I've heard of that one. I've been on it though. I've been on it. Fun.
You guys need to hurry up if we want this to go to India.
We're going as fast as we can.
Okay. I believe you.
That's enough. We don't need any more. Okay, guys. There you go. Now let's spread it out. I'll got some more ice.
It's so cold in here.
I know. It's so heavy.
Why do they need electricity anyway?
Yeah, my parents have plenty of sawdust in their wood shop.
Well, sometimes the rain would come along and cause problems. The ice would get slushy. Sometimes the horses wouldn't work because they were hungry or cold. And sometimes people got so tired they even fell in.
There is a lot of rain this evening.
Yeah, we should probably tell the supervisor. I'm scared the ice might break.
Yeah, because it's melting, so it's like, hey supervisor, there's just a lot of rain. What should we do about it?
We should probably evacuate the ice.
Yeah. Well, we have to get as much ice as possible, so we'll just keep working.
I've been working on the red ice road. Oh, the live long. Dad! I can't swim! Oh, I can't swim! Swim! Get off the ice! Whoa! Cover up! Supervisor, you let him fall in. It's all your fault.
Well, we had to get as much ice as possible.
Well, look at it. All the ice is already almost gone. Should I try to get the pig out of the water? Sure. You guys do that. This is the third time this week. There's Jay! There's the truck!
We heard from the other fourth grade. The bags, the shoes, the ice, the ships, but what else is there? What about me? I live with my family in the forest near the fisher cats, the coyotes, the bears.
Take it easy.
Sorry. That was just my way of saying, can I see what's next in the box, please?
Well, sure. Let's see what's next in the box.
And it's a
Cowbell? That looks like a bell from the mid-1800s. Isn't that where the railroad came through?
Well, the railroad did come to Richmond in 1851.
That must have made people feel a lot more connected to the world.
Imagine having a railroad for the first time and being a kid in Richmond and hadn't really been outside of Richmond.
This track's gonna go all the way to Skowhegan.
I know, right? I had no idea.
Come hammer this. Yeah, you'll be able to ride this train anywhere.
I'm planning on visiting my Aunt Mary in Tennessee.
Hey, hey, look at them go. They're gonna make an iron road. Hey, hey, what do you know? Train's gonna carry all of our loads. Put on the milk and the mail. Put on the apples and head down the rail. It's a beautiful day. We don't have to walk, we can ride the whole way. Hey, hey, when we grow old, will we still ride on the iron road? Hey, hey, what do you know? Don't need a horse to go faster than slow. Get your family and friends. You've got people to see and letters to send. Get on the train and go to town. Hear the engine making its sound. Toot toot the horn hoots. Whoa, whoa, hear it blow. Ding, ding, the conductor rings. Click, clack, roll down the track. Get your family and friends. We've got people to see and letters to send. Get on the train and go to town. Hear the engine making its sound. Toot, toot the horn hoots. Whoa, whoa, hear it blow. Ding, ding, the conductor rings. Click, clack, roll down the track. Toot, toot the horn hoots. Whoa, whoa, hear it blow. Ding, ding, the conductor rings. Click, clack, roll down the track. Put on the milk and the mail. Put on the apples and head down the rail. It's a beautiful day. We don't have to walk, we can ride the whole way. Hey, hey, when we grow old, will we still ride on the iron road? Hey, hey, what do you know? Don't need a horse to go faster than slow. Hey, hey, when we grow old, will we still ride on the iron road? Hey, hey, when we grow old, will we still ride on the iron road? Hey, hey, when we grow old, will we still ride on the iron road?
Everyone off for Richmond. Thank you for the ride.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you for the ride.
Thank you for the ride. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for the ride.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I
I would offer you an apple, though.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're welcome.
That was a big song just for saying there was milk on the train.
Actually, there was more cream and butter going on train than milk. There was a special place for milk right here in Richmond.
Yeah, and what happened too was when they were able to ship their products on the train, they could make more butter and more milk to ship away. And they shipped it to Augusta and to Brunswick.
Hold your horses. Not like that. There was also barley farms at the Goshen.
What's the Goshen?
It was a huge farm where they made ice cream from their own milk.
Let's go!
Actually, it was sold a couple years ago.
And I've read in my teacher's manual that I'm not supposed to take you on special field trips and reward you with ice cream, but we're gonna make an exception. We're gonna go somewhere.
So, Ben and Jerry's World Headquarters?
Not Ben and Jerry's World Headquarters, that's Vermont. We are in Richmond.
It's gonna be all because of South and Kitty regularly.
Hey, everybody! Hi! What can I get for you? Settle down, one at a time, please.
Can I get chocolate sprinkles in a waffle cone, please?
Chocolate sprinkles in a waffle cone, you got it.
Can I
And you?
twist with chocolate sprinkles in a waffle cone?
Twist with chocolate sprinkles in a waffle cone.
Can I get a moose shark shake, please?
Moose track shake, that's a good one.
We're learning about local history at our school, and there used to be a dairy here in Richmond.
And we were wondering, how far away does your milk come from?
We actually use hood milk here, and it comes from Portland, Maine.
We've learned a little bit about the history of Richmond and some of the ways this small town on the Kennebec connected with the rest of the world through the railroad, shipbuilding, ice harvesting, and the early mills. But it's not hard to see that all those activities were just threads in the woven fabric of people's lives. People who had families, raised children, watched the sun rise and set, grew up, and grew older. Lives lived alongside a river that connected them to Merrymeeting Bay, the ocean, and the world. A river that iconic Maine author Robert P. Tristram Coffin described as the cradle of Americans, that has given so many so much. A mighty river now needing some care herself to restore and support the rich biodiversity that attracted and nurtured the first peoples here long ago.
Everybody, thank you. Thank you for being here and for watching that. And I'd like to introduce Jonathan Mirren, who hopefully is on here now with us. And hopefully we'll hear from some of the students. I don't know really who all is here. but I'd like to hear from students and teachers, primarily if they're here. I talked a little bit about in the beginning about how we came to this project, and Jonathan is now hopefully with us. Are you there, John?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so John is the co-founding artistic director of Piti Theatre Company, based in Charlemont, Massachusetts, and his plays and films have been performed and screened around the U.S. and internationally. PT launched their Your Town program in 2014 and have been working with museums, historical societies, arts organizations, and schools around New England to help people of all ages discover their local histories, stories, bring them to life. Last summer, John received the Massachusetts Historical Alliance's Rising Star Award for this work, which he creates with his wife and co-founder, Godoliev Richard. And the artistic team, Laura was up with us for this production on site, and you can see from the credits there's an awful lot of post-production work that goes on. So with that, I want to give it to you, John, to talk for a few minutes about the process, and then hopefully we can get some kids on and some teachers as well, and maybe the principal, Mary Payne's here, and Jay. So go for it, John.
Yeah, well, it was nice watching that with a big group of people. I've been watching it a lot recently as we've trying to finish up the edits. But one of the things I was thinking about watching it this time was, those first Zooms we had. Obviously it's hard for us to just pop into the school and do kind of preliminary workshops and get to know the kids. We sort of just arrive and we have to start filming because we're just there for a week, and we stayed somewhere, not in Richmond, somewhere, pretty close by.
Working. Please check your connection or use a different speaker.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. I can.
Yeah, yes, John, I hear you fine.
Okay, great. So I was just thinking about those first Zooms that we did with the two classes where the kids were brainstorming about conflicts and potential problems that could have happened in these industries and in the different scenes that we were thinking of. And our whole thing with the Your Town program and with a lot of our programming is to sort of let the young people that we're working with be playwrights with us, because a lot of times young people are just good at making up stories naturally, and we sort of lose that ability as we get older. But just seeing how a lot of the little dialogue, for example, in the Ice House was just improvised by the kids, and we got, I think, at this point, big round of applause for the kids, for the students for jumping in there. And, obviously there was not a lot of kids with film experience, maybe none. And, but they dove in and they were having a good time, which helped us have a good time. And it was just really a joyful week. And, our tech stuff gets a little bit better each time. And I'm just really, feel really happy. Hopefully this video will be useful to the school and, the library or whoever in Richmond, as the years come.
So are there any, we got Taylor Burke and John Libby on here, and Mary Payne from Richmond. Are any of the students out here listening? Do you know? You can, I think Martin will let you unmute yourselves
and I believe there's a few. I just can't see who they are because I can only see John's face. So
I see some, whoever Lindsay McDonald is. I see some
Sophia.
I think I saw Haven
and Jonathan.
as well.
All we see is the starting slide and Jonathan's picture on the far right, but we don't see who else is out there.
Maybe we can, if we take away the slide, Ed, there we go.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Remove spotlight. Yeah, there we go. Here we can.
So
there we go. Now we got a lot of pictures. I see Haven Clifford. See Principal
Evelyn DM is right there.
So if there are any students on board here, Lindsay or others, it'd be interesting to know what what you thought it was like acting in this production. Was it hard work? Was it fun? Was it boring? Would you want to do it again? Did you have any favorite parts to it? And anyone can jump in.
That's okay.
I'm Sophia, and I think my favorite part about doing it was probably how we got to meet a bunch of new people and learn more about our town.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So new people, primarily those of us that came into school, because you knew your classmates, I assume, but and I don't know if you knew Zach, the ice cream man, but um, did you after the production incorporate any of what you learned into what you did in class, or talk about it some in class?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Well, anybody else want to share their favorite part about the process? Or least favorite?
I love the kids.
I can share. I just like seeing the kids get out of their comfort zone and try something new. A lot of them, I had no idea that they could act, or would have just never known that that would be something they would have wanted to do. And then they just shined doing something like that. So that was great to see.
How
Hayden, how about you? What did you like about it? You did a great job. I just want to say bravo to all the students. That was pretty amazing. I was texting Taylor saying, this is really good. And it was surprising.
My favorite part was probably meeting Jay and Jonathan and Ed.
Well, we had a great time.
I didn't know we were that much fun.
Yeah. We had a great time with you.
They were laughing at us, not with us.
Oh, at us. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I liked when everyone ran up the road, eager to see you again, Jay.
I did too.
Jay. Yeah. So Mary and Taylor and John, we do have a high resolution version of this that I'm going to send you the link for. That hopefully you guys can do a school assembly or something, but the high resolution one you can show on a big screen, and that should be good to share. I know this is an awkward time for a lot of students to come and listen.
That'd
tonight.
be great.
So, yeah.
Thank
We
you.
will definitely make sure students and staff see this. It was, I found it really informative. I found it moving and inspiring in terms of protecting what is still there. It's a really great weaving of history and protection of the environment and the natural resource, and getting those kids, like Taylor said, out of their comfort zone and just being amazing. I was so impressed by this, the way you compiled it at the end. Bravo to all of you. Thank you, Ed and Jonathan. And who was the woman on site who did a lot of the filming? I don't see her here.
Yeah, she could make it tonight. Laura Josephs, I'll tell her.
Yeah, she was great too with the kids. You just brought out the best in them.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you to Taylor and John for opening up their classroom experience to this.
Evelyn, do you want to share too something you liked?
I liked all of it. Like the acting was really fun, being part of it. I liked all of it.
Do you guys have any sort of acting program in school, or any fine art stuff like that, or not?
In third grade, they typically, or in the past, they've done a play, but other than that, there's no really specific acting program. So this was all just some raw talent.
Great.
Yeah, these is raw talent, but it also has inspired some things. We are putting more theater into our programming. Our art teacher and music teacher are teaming up to do something this year with fifth graders, same students that are in this fourth grade video. So it was generative, what you did with the kids. They really were inspired by it. There's nothing like acting for learning. So I just really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And I know that, John works with kids all the time and has, does some acting improv residencies and things like that. So, feel free to draw on him in the future if you decide you want to do some more of this stuff. I think that what he's done with children has been amazing. You should go, if you haven't been there, check out their website and you can see some of the other the other productions. And yeah, it's been a real honor to work with John and Laura and the rest of the crew back in Massachusetts, who we don't know and haven't seen and haven't met. But again, it's amazing how what we did out here in Richmond on site turns into what we saw tonight, I think. And I agree with you, Mary. I was very moved in watching, and some of the songs about the mill. I mean, I had tears in my eyes. It was very emotional, and I hope that the students have spent some more time after the program and talked about some of this and have a better awareness of town and of it's not just Richmond, but we are the sum of our histories, right? So it's a neat thing to think about. Anyone else want to jump in? Doesn't have to be a student or teacher. Jay, you want to pop in and talk about this?
I have to say that I'm in tears from this product. Richmond has more interesting people and events in their history than any other town of its size. The students were great. They were so eager. They were so respectful of our town's history and of us old folks who tried to sort of guide them. I think the part that affected me the most of the show was about the mills. I spent 10 years in the shoe industry, 7 of them at Etonic in Richmond, and the mills really meant family. You have 350 people or so who show up every day together and have lunch together or breaks together and share their families. That's what Richmond's all about, sharing family. I also want to say that when they came to see me with my time capsule, that was at the Town Archives and History Center. It is not the Richmond Historical Society. It's a town facility. Richmond Historical are the guest curators, if you will. But we have so much good information that we want to share it with everybody. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 9:30 to 1. Second and fourth Saturday, 9 to 1. And interestingly, it's about 150 yards from the Buker School. So with a path through and an addition to the building to bring all of our museum objects in and place to work with the kids on the local history, it's our vision for the future. The kids are our future. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for being such a good sport and so supportive of the whole
I
process.
also want to say that this project took more money to produce than the money that's come in. So if anybody wants to support this particular project and similar projects in the future, Friends of Merrymeeting Bay, thank you.
That was unsolicited. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, we were unsuccessful in a lot of our fundraising, and so shout out to primary sponsors, Bath Savings and New England Foundation for the Arts. But yeah, we would welcome another $8,000. So.
Can I just say that this video should help with that? I would get it out there if I were you, and we'll try to do the same. Please put it on our, new school newsletter, and it is very inspiring.
Well, great, thank you. So it's a little hard after the fact, but it's certainly worth a try. Yeah. So great. Anyone else want to jump in?
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm very proud of the kids, and thank you, John, Ed, and Jay for helping us bring this to life. This was really neat.
Great, thanks, Paul. And John, sorry. How about you, Paul? No, you're here somewhere, right? You gotta unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay. So it was pretty interesting. I wasn't that excited about the idea because I couldn't conceptualize in my mind how all this would come together. But the enthusiasm of the kids was just phenomenal. And
a little hard to hear you, so I'm sorry, but I think maybe
the enthusiasm with the kids was just phenomenal.
Great.
And they really participated and tried to do their best. And then seeing how all this came together, it just all sort of makes sense. And it's very encouraging. And I think I'd like to see more of this. History is a hard sell sometimes. And some participatory activity like this, I think, has a great deal of value.
Great. Well, thank you for participating on the camera and for your help outside the camera. I appreciate that.
It's not that I was petrified, but it's the first time I've ever done it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for me, I think, there's something about, the community at the school where I think the kids, a lot of them had, a good foundation about working together and collaborations. That's a lot of what acting and this type of work is about. And so I think that was a really good basis. So there's a lot of good things coming together that help make it work. Did any of the kids want to say anything else about maybe what was the hardest part, or something you'd like to do differently in the future, or anything? Who you want to share this with?
Do any of you remember how hot it was that last day that you were filming? That's what that doesn't come through. What was it, Taylor and John? Like 90 degrees out, and they're in these bonnets, and so it probably there's a little bit of reality there in the hardship.
I think many of them were thankful for the ice
We had
cream,
to
I want to say.
we had to finish some filming and then get ready for a chorus concert that afternoon, and so they were pretty exhausted, I think, by the end of that day.
There's some people on that were not part of this project. I see some, Bill Good, Sue West, Jane Frost. Do you guys, as outsiders with air quotes, I mean, what did you think of the film or the project? Not having been a part of it, I'm curious to know. We've all been invested in it. So, any of you want to jump in?
Yes, Bill Good. I thought it was wonderful, and it's something I would think more schools would certainly want to do. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Bill.
I agree. It was awesome. It was just awesome. I had no idea what to expect. And I just loved the playful ways that the students were, you know, I loved especially the scenes in the mill, especially the part about them, even when they're asleep, they were like thinking of the mill. I love that image because it conveyed the incredible overworking of so many, mostly young women in some of those situations. And so I'm really impressed, really impressed.
Well, thank you, Sue. That means a lot. You spent a lot of years working in education in Chewonki, so I really appreciate
public schools
that feedback. So, yeah.
And actually, we have the choreographer on the Zoom, Godliev, and I had to sort of adapt her choreography for that situation where we couldn't, if we were doing this in a theater with an after-school group, that mill scene, we could work on it for a good week with all the different, choreography. But the kids just jumped in and improvised with me, and that was great.
Yeah, and if anyone watches the Dexter and the Dinosaur film I mentioned, those kids were taking acting classes with John for a while. So, the sound is good and they're pretty polished, and so the actors in our production were all first timers, and it's just a wonderful thing to see. Steve, you had your hand up there.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote the score. That was pretty neat music you came up with there. It sounded good. Who's a banjo player?
So some of those the sort of the songs with lyrics were written by Carrie Ferguson and Godliev and me. Typically I write lyrics and then I give them to Carrie. And Carrie Ferguson is definitely someone you should check out. She has a great she has a children's album on her own. She has a children's album she wrote with us. And then she has great music for adults. But then the instrumental music is by another really wonderful New England musician named Louis Collins, Lui Collins, and she's also, a singer and taught our child music when he was, 3, and yeah. So yeah, I would check out the credits. This is going to be posted on the Friends of Merrymeeting Bay website and on our website. So, anything if you want to dive back in, you missed something, you want to watch a scene again.
Great.
Yeah. I see Godoliev has her hand up.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Everybody you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was very happy to see and learn about your town. So I helped this project from home, with some costumes and props and choreography and things like that. But it was very nice to learn from another town and see all of you perform, or some of you.
Great. Well, that's great to hear, and that perspective is good. It brings to mind that a product like this could almost be like an ambassador for the town or something, right? So if you as even you're someone invested, but just as someone from away, you probably still learn something about Richmond when you see that and the feeling about it, and so that's a great perspective. Go ahead. You were going to say something else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say also that usually there's some projects that are in school like this fast, but we also have projects where we work longer. And so I just wanted to say that this project was made kind of fast. So yeah, so it was good. It was well done for the amount of time given for the children, and yeah. It was just 1 week, or what was it? You were just there 1 week, no?
Just 1 week, yep.
Yeah. So we do other project where the children have more time to learn, and yeah.
Terry Parker, do you want to say anything there?
I'm just very happy that this project was done, and I am thrilled with the editing at the end. I was there a couple of days watching it being filmed, and it's amazing the way it came together. I was very happy to be part of the history research that was used. So thanks for using that, Jonathan. You did a great job. Thank you.
Well, it is magical how it comes together, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It's also magical for me because I happen to have a really good video editor who has 4 children, young children, and he just makes time for us when this comes up. And his name's Brendan Leowolf. I definitely recommend him. But he teaches video at a local high school, and then Florian Staub, who's a great sound editor based in New York, who puts up with me in our company and has been doing that for many years. So.
Jane Frost, are you still on there? Do you want to say anything at all?
Yes, just a minute. I'm trying to unmute.
Well, we're here.
Oh, okay. All right. I admire in the time span that you had, what you were able to do with kids who had no previous experience in anything like this. I thought did you incorporate the music teacher? Did she help you out with coaching the kids in the singing parts, or did your crew take that on all by themselves?
I'm not remembering exactly if the teachers had the songs much earlier, but I think the kids just kind of jumped in.
Yeah, I don't think they had them. We didn't have them too much earlier. I do remember when they were dancing. I remember standing behind the camera and doing the dances in the background, but other than that, there wasn't really much. I mean, they kind of learned the lyrics pretty quickly and got going on their own. So
yeah, kids are amazing, aren't they? I wish that you would make an effort to show this around town, like have a showing at the Grange Hall, or even before a town meeting. I just think it would be a shame not to put it to more use. It's a wonderful little product that you were able to develop, and I'd love to see it more widely enjoyed by the people in town. People here are proud of their town, and all the more so when our history is celebrated. Anyhow, hope it gets more showings.
Well, thank you, Jane. I think there's no reason why, we can make sure the town office or, has it or can link to it on their website, and obviously the school will do more with it, and maybe Jay can. And so it's going to be available for anyone who wants it. And that's great. I think Jay, you're going to say something?
Oh, no,
I was just
oh, go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say that I'm so thankful for our school system, John Libby and Taylor, and the kids. I mean, they're the stars here.
Yeah.
We were there to help them achieve something, and they achieved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just the way this worked, if I'm remembering right, Jane, typically we're working with one class in the morning while the other class is maybe doing some studying up or rehearsing, and then they come in the afternoon. So sort of often alternating between classes. And while one is getting filmed, the other might be doing some rehearsing or learning some lyrics or, something like that. So it's an interesting process. So,
And each classroom was split in two, so there are really four moving
right.
parts here.
Yeah. Okay.
Do any of the kids still on? Did you guys already get to do some acting in 5th grade? Not yet, but maybe later on. My understanding is that Maine has a pretty good high school theater scene, so maybe by the time you get to high school, there'll just be regular theater offered, in case you want to keep doing it.
John, do you find many of the younger students you work with go on to do some more acting later?
Some do, some don't. There's like one student we work with for a few years, who's now going to acting school in New York. But I'm not saying anyone needs to do that, but it's kind of fun when people keep doing it. But the main thing is, it's not about being being a professional actor is of course a great job, but just the skills that you learn when you learn about acting you can use them all day long. Even if you're trying to say you have, if you grow up and have kids, you can keep the kids amused with acting, sing them a song, whatever. You could
even go be a legislator.
Yep. Yep. You become president of the United States.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or conductor of the railroad.
Yeah. Well, I think that, one important aspect of the process is that, it's that sort of public speaking aspect, learning to speak up, which we often remind, students to do and project, and how you come across sort of fundamental parts of the acting process that serve you well in other aspects of life and communication pieces. So
interestingly, back in the beginning of the 1800s, you did not graduate from high school after 4 years or whatever. You went to a public declamation where you stood up in front of the town or whatever and spoke a piece. And if you were capable of that, you were passed on. It wasn't like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. It was the ability to present yourself in the public that was so important.
Interesting. Okay. Well, John, want to wrap it up, right?
Yeah. I think everyone has to get to bed.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks to the students, especially, again, echoing Jay, and teachers, Taylor and John, and Principal Mary Payne. Really appreciate it. And all everyone gets a hand. Let's go. So, and Martin, thank you. So we'll have this back up. We'll have this up on the web in a couple of days or so, hopefully. And I will send it out to you folks up at school, and we'll see if we can get some wider airing of it. Thank you all very much, and hopefully you can join us. Our speaker series, this is our 28th year, It's the second Wednesday of each month from October to May. And we've got some great ones coming up as well. And January 8th will be the next one. So thanks and good night, and everyone stay safe. Didn't lose power, so thanks to whoever for that. And enjoy the rain. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.